In the previous video, I talked about how to set up the different names and how to reuse where you can for center symbologies, profile, and also the solid symbologies. Now let's move over into the paths and how we're going to set those up. So I do want to be as close to what we set up with the feature definition as possible. Some of that is going to be different just based off of the folder structure and open roads. So we'll take a look at the symbologies here. We'll start in linear. That's going to be my first folder, and then from there I have the freedom to customize that however I want. Same thing with profile and with solid. But whatever I do in the linear, I'm going to follow with profile and solid. So the first folder is going to be linear, profile, and solid here. And then from there, I'm going to try to be consistent with what I did over here in my feature definition. So these are for conduits. So I'm going to call it a stormwater segment. And then I'm going to group it into the pipes folder. And then same thing with existing, I'm going to have stormwater segment and then existing, and that's going to list all of my existing stormwater segments inside of that one folder. Alright, now let's move down to the element templates. So there's a lot to think about here, but it really just comes down to what do you want to show in your plans. Do you just want to show a center line of the conduit and plan? Do you want to show the outer inside walls? Same thing in profile, what is it that you're wanting to show? And you'll find that you may not have to set up all of these for all of them, or you might have a much smaller list than what I have. So as an example, for the regular pipes, I am showing the outside wall and the inside wall. And then for the existing pipes, I'm only showing the center, and I'm not showing the inside and outside wall. So you're going to think about that prior to creating these features to know what element templates you're going to need to be creating. Okay, so I'm going to start over here with the path. These are all going to be pretty consistent, so if I go to my element templates, I can start this with any folder that I want. So I do like to separate the different utilities, so I'm going to, even though they're going to be in separate DGN libs, my top folder for drainage is going to be stormwater. And then my top folders inside of my utilities DGN lib are going to be gas, electric, water, and so forth. So then I'm going to see all of those listed in a list here when I'm inside of a file. Alright, so to start this off, it's going to start with stormwater, and then it's going to follow my feature definitions where I go into conduit. It's a little bit off, but it is going to work better that way, where we can have all of our nodes, conduits, and drainage areas under the stormwater folder. And then from there we're going to follow the same folder structures for the pipes. Now we're going to build onto this with the element templates, because with element templates you're going to have plan element templates, profile element templates, and 3D. So those are going to be the element templates that you assign to the different symbologies to produce the different looks of the elements. So everything that I create here is going to go under a plan folder or 2D. Anything here is going to be under profile folder, and then this one's going to be under either a solid or a 3D folder. So let's look at plan first. So when I'm thinking about all this, do we want to have the outer wall or the inner wall, the center line of the pipe, on different levels? So if the answer to that is no, we only need to create one level here, or maybe two, one for proposed, one for existing. And we can assign it to all those different element templates. And there's really no reason to create separate element templates if all the symbology is going to be the same. The only time you really need to have those separate element templates is if something's different about them. So maybe the reason why I have three separate ones here, they all use the same level, but the inside's going to have a dashed line style, and then maybe the outside wall is going to have a solid line style, then maybe the center line is going to be on a construction class or on a different level completely. Right, so that would warrant us needing to have separate element templates. And then we're going to take the same thought process over to the profile and fill that out. And lastly, we have solids. So inside of the element templates that we use for the solid symbology, we are going to be assigning a material. So you will need to have a separate element template for each type of material and level combination that you use.